Okay, my beautiful friends, it is Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Again, here we sit, you and me, and we have to put a few things together. And again, what I'm going to talk about this morning with regard to the economy, and not just the economy here in the United States, but the global economy is going to come as no surprise to you at all. People have sincerely been lulled into some kind of a twisted reality. You all know that. You have today the mainstream news outlets that are performing a great disservice to people. All they're doing now is propagandizing people. Lies, fake news. I mean, it's out of control. But that's how they control people. That's the truth here. Anyway, before we touch on that, let's talk about this market real quick. Trading doesn't start for about 30 minutes. Stock futures are slightly higher this morning. We had a little sell-off yesterday, and I covered the reasons why. Crude oil took a big hit yesterday, and the market is dependent on crude. You all know that. When crude takes a hit like that, like a 3% hit or so, you should expect to see the stock market fall. And that's exactly what did happen. Then there's all this propaganda out there with regard to what the Federal Reserve may do moving forward. There's all this, again, it's fake news, that the Fed is concerned about the surging rate of inflation. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Fed does not care. As a matter of fact, the Fed has been trying to create inflation, and they're doing it right now as we are talking, running their inflation creation machine, issuing debt through one door, buying it back through another door. It's not going to stop, okay? And it's a joke. There was no taper. The Fed just lowered their minimum targets per month. There's no cap on this. With regard to rate hikes, look, they're way off in my opinion, and the Fed is not done buying assets, not by a long shot. And the effect of this is very simple. Again, I know a lot of you are focused on the United States. This surging inflation phenomenon is a global phenomenon. This is a global wipeout of the middle class as they bring us to, again, this global two-tier society, this global system of a one world government. And the one world government is the central banks. Nowhere on the earth right now do we have real representation. I don't care where you live. It's the banks dictating it all because they control monetary policy. They control your mode of transaction. That means well, they control everything for the most part. And politicians, all of them, they are nothing but actors. And they just do what they're told to do. I think you all know that's very straightforward. And if you don't see what's right in front of your face, consider yourself one of the brainwashed. Anyway, with that said here, so the economic news is pretty straightforward. Look, this is no surprise to you. Global GDP is cratering. Well, what does that tell us? What the global economy is also cratering. No surprise. This, again, is something I've explained to you since time immemorial. It's not going to stop. Inflation is going to continue to surge out of control by design as a wipeout of the middle class is happening right now. It's astonishing. First-time unemployment claims come in higher than expected, 267,000 last week. It's a big surprise to the economists out there. Well, they didn't see this one coming. They never do because they're all, they're also out there, trying to propagandize people. And we also find out that real wages are plummeting if you base what people are earning against the rate of inflation. Imagine Greg Mannarino shock. You can't imagine how surprised I am. No. Really, honestly, do you think any of this is by accident? I can't believe, seriously, that there's a single person out here, and I know there are, who believe that what they're seeing now, it's just a phenomenon, it just happened. No, all of this, the wheels have been set in motion decades ago. And the biggest kicker here is this global shutdown. They deliberately shut down the global economy. This never needed to happen. Okay, I understand that we have this scamdemic that's going around here and people are getting sick from it, but did they really have to shut down the global economy, wipe out millions of jobs here to enrich the corporations? That's the real plan here. And it was also, again, for the central banks to fulfill their end game, to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. We have been told that they would use a tactic like this, I don't know, for at least a couple of decades. And they're not done. So just be ready for what's coming down the pike. And I know you are. Just remain aware, like I always tell you. Let's go back to this market. Stock futures are higher right now, pointing towards a higher open. Crude oil under some pressure right now. Cryptocurrency is doing all right. You got Bitcoin around 65,000-ish. It's been stuck in a range for a while. We're going to keep our eyes on that. There could be a breakout to the upside. In fact, I'm expecting that to happen. Could we have a drop? Well, all I can say is I would be thankful for that. I would be thankful to see Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in aggregate fall here. I think it would be an astonishing buying opportunity, just like every other drop before it has. You think it's going to be different this time? Those of you that hate cryptocurrencies for whatever reason, you keep missing the boat over and over and over again, well, you're going to miss the boat again. I guarantee you, if you keep that kind of mentality. Gold and silver right now, people getting bid higher. All right, we understand the mechanism here. There's no price discovery mechanism, but it doesn't matter. Let them play their game. We will play our game, all right? And we can't lose. Look, those of you that have been with me for years, understand that, all we've been doing here is winning on an epic scale. This channel is for winners. You know that. Everyone else can leave through the back door. You don't like this stuff. You don't like my style. You don't like the way I present things. Well, you know what? It's too freaking bad. Then you should not be here. Go follow some other freak. Yeah, I guess I am kind of a freak too. But go follow some other person out here trying to, control your mind with fear and propaganda. I'm not trying to scare anyone, as you know. I just want you to be aware of what's going on, and I think you are. Nobody. There is not another person that has more knowledge of this market than you do. All right? If you've been following this blog, you know the inner workings of it and its dark, dark underbelly. I think you're all well aware of that too. And I will keep you ahead of the curve. So you just stick around. You stay here, and Greg Mannarino has a lot more for you. And you know how I like talking about myself in the third person. I don't know why I do that. It just comes out. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I am a third person. I don't even know what that means, but whatever. So that's the story, people. More bad economic news, no surprise to you. Global GDP cratering. Debts and deficits out of control, all by design. None of this is by accident. Surging inflation, going to get worse. Forget about what the propaganda ministry is trying to fist feed you. They were trying to fist feed you the freaking transitory narrative. That didn't turn out too well. I told you it wouldn't. From day one. Day one. When I heard that word transitory come out of the mouth of Yellowstein, Fed Chair Powell, I was actually laughing. I was laughing, and I wanted to throw up at the same time. It's the truth. I mean, the stuff that they try to sell people so they can fulfill their end game is incredible. It really is. And then the propaganda ministry, the Fed is concerned about inflation. The Fed is going to do something. Really? No. See, these people have no idea what's going on. Or they're being fed a script. They're being told what to say. And that's really the truth here. I mean, you got these people out here on the mainstream outlets, and they're sitting there with a straight face, lying to you repeatedly over and over and over again. It's quite astonishing to me, people. But look, we're not going to deviate from our pathway here. Okay, we're going to stay in this market, and we're going to stay in this market until things change, and then we're going to stay in the market again, but from another perspective. Like I said yesterday, people call me a permabull. I am not a permabull. I've said this market will go higher until it doesn't. And when it doesn't, we will change our thinking. But again, if you've been following my work, and you're, let's say, in this market, and you're in a lot of different assets, you're hedged. You don't even care. You don't care what happens, okay? You're already set up. And I think you got that, people. And anyway, look, video's getting kind of long. I'm going to end this now. We will reconvene right here at the end of the day. Keep your, oh, by the way, real quick, the MMRI right now is only available on my website, traderschoice.net. There is a link, and there's no other links to connect to. It's right there on my website. Keep track of the MMRI. It's at 92 today. Actually, the bond market's closed. So it is going to affect the MMRI to a certain degree, although it will still react because it's still dependent on what the Dixie or the relative value of the dollar is doing. So anyway, pay attention to that, people. I told you already, it's the best I didn't have my second cup of coffee yet. Risk indicator for this market, I think that has been created in the last 50 years. All right, this guy loves you a lot. Please share the video. I'll see all of you later.